The word trade has always been used in a generic fashion, and the attempts of deciphering the meaning of this word has only been done by economists and business people. If we look at history books, trade was actually in the form of barter system, where commodities were exchanged and not currency. Trade is the transfer of ownership of goods and services from one person or entity to another. Trade is sometimes loosely called commerce, or financial transaction, or barter. International trade is exchange of capital and services across international borders or territories. In most countries, it represents a significant share of gross domestic product. Industrialization, advanced transportation, globalization, multinational corporations, and outsourcing are all having a major impact on the international trade system. What is the importance of food security and insecurity? What does it mean? Food security refers to the availability of food and one's access to it. Worldwide, around 852 million people are chronically hungry due to extreme poverty, while up to 2 billion people lack food security due to varying degrees of poverty. There's pressure on grains due to competition with oil crops, including those for edible oils, as in Pakistan, and biofuels from corn and mustard oils in the West. The demand for animal and plant protein has increased, which causes cropping competition to grain crops by falters and edible legumes. Secure, well-functioning markets can balance one country's food deficit with another's surplus. In this way, global trade can support global price stability and food security. As a society that is the world's largest producer and consumer, we have a responsibility to help sustain our natural resources and our planet. Word resource is used to describe the materials present in large quantities and held in reserve for future use. If these resources occur in nature, they're called natural resources. Sustainability is the ability to maintain a certain process in an existing system. The frequent use of the term sustainability is connected to human system in the context of ecology. Natural resources occur naturally within environments that exist relatively undisturbed by mankind. A natural resource often characterized by amounts of biodiversity in ecosystem. Recycling, reducing waste generation, and conservation of valuable resources are our best hopes so that ecosystems will still be capable of providing for the generations to come. Today's planet of trade looks very different from when the first rules governing world trade were originally shaped after the Second World War and led to the creation of the GATT. The old division of labor between nations has been changed by the recent wave of globalization. Global value chains, or international supply chains, are core to this development. To be able to quantify the part of imported inputs in an economy's exports, different statistical approaches are used. Trade in intermediate goods can be measured through a breakdown of trade statistics, according to the United Nations classification of broad economic categories. International input-output tables gather national accounts on goods into a statistical framework. This approach is often referred to as indirect measurement of value-added trade. The WTO is the only international organization dealing with the rules of trade. A few steps can be taken by WTO to overcome the challenges faced by the international trade market. Number 1. Highlight the major dynamic standards in selected industrialized countries, covering both public and private standards and the drivers behind the observed trends. Number 2. Develop a better understanding of the nature and level of costs and benefits associated with developing country compliance with international market standards. Number 3. Develop a better understanding of the distributional impact of emerging standards and compliance strategies. Number 4. Review the scope and nature of recent programs by international development agencies to provide technical assistance and draw operational lessons from this experience.